The Bitcoin bottom, is it in? In today's video, that's what we're going to be talking about. I will also get into the brand new week's bonus that you have to take advantage of because there's only 1 week left until it's over. But we will go over Bitcoin. We will go over what is happening from the macro environment. We will talk about this massive line of resistance. Are we seeing a bullish retest or are we finding resistance? And does that mean a major correction? What's happening with the inverted head and shoulder? Is history going to repeat? We were looking at the prior high that Bitcoin created back in May, and if the support we're finding on this daily time frame is substantial enough to bounce us back liquidation levels and so much more. So stay tuned until the end of today's video because it is going to be crucial for the future outlook of Bitcoin. And I just realized that I didn't do my intro. So here it is. Crypto kids, welcome back to another video. You're never too young or too old to make money in crypto. And with that said, let's jump into the Bitcoin price action and start our TA. But first thing is first, I just want to say thank you all so much for 927 likes on yesterday's video. I think that is a brand new all-time high of likes that we've created on a technical analysis video alone. So I just wanted to say I love you all so much. Thank you. It means the world. And let's keep the likes coming. That makes me super, super happy and super motivated. Looking at the macro charts, there is one interesting thing that I want to mention that maybe a lot of you forgot over the past year. Exactly 1 year ago today was the time where Bitcoin crashed all the way down to $49,000 per Bitcoin. And this happened because of major FUD about the Japanese yen carry trade. And if you bought during that dip specifically, which if you do go to my videos, we can find that specific video telling you to buy the dip. If you've bought that dip, you would have been up over 130%, which is kind of remarkable. So let's go back a year. And if you guys are not familiar, by the way, we do daily technical analysis, so subscribe. We're almost at 54,000 subscribers if you want these daily update videos. Here it is, buy Bitcoin now. Look, we made this video. That was when President Trump was just, starting to talk about the crypto markets. Look, broadening wedge. Let's see if this loads. If it does, it'll be epic. Maybe it doesn't want to. There it is. So if you can see, it's currently on 144p quality. Let's improve that to 1080p. Click play. Give it a little bit of a drum roll. There it is. The price of Bitcoin was at $56,900. So we almost called the exact bottom. We said that from here onwards, Bitcoin is going to bounce, so on and so forth. So if you bought during that dip of the Japanese yen carry trade, essentially you would be up around 130%, even given Bitcoin's mini crash down to $114,000 to $112,000. So congratulations to all crypto kids that have done that. And apart from the Japanese yen carry trade crash, which today marks its anniversary, and this trend line is starting to annoy me a lot, so let's get rid of it. We have had previous FUD in different higher lows that was created within this specific cycle. So if you look at the most recent, the higher low that was created in this uptrend, this happened because of obviously the Russia-American tensions, the employment data. When you go back to this point here, we had Elon Musk and Trump, we had World War III concerns. At this point, this was the height of the tariff concerns. And then over here was ETFs. Everybody was scared that Grayscale was going to offload all these billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin and it was going to crash Bitcoin even more. At this point, this was when the SEC went after Binance US and it gave the illusion that crypto in America overall is never going to be accepted and therefore this industry has no future. Look how the tables have reversed. And the first essential dip of this parabolic cycle was hinting a banking crisis, that we would see something close to the 2008 banking crisis. So at all of these significant points, there was very valid reasonings for why Bitcoin should have ended the bull market cycle and went into a crash. But realistically, it didn't do that. All it ended up doing was following the M2 money supply. So if you look at the M2 money supply, we can shift to the daily time frame where it's most accurate with the 84-day delay. We get rid of all of our drawings. You can see all that Bitcoin did was move literally exactly with the M2 money supply. And when we overlay the current price action with the M2 money supply, it's demonstrating a much further increase to the upside. So what I'm trying to tell you is we shouldn't be looking at these short-term bearish news and things that happen, because at the end of the day, Bitcoin follows liquidity, and liquidity is heading up, and I would be buying every single potential dip that we experience. If you're looking for a cryptocurrency exchange to be doing exactly that, you can go to today's description. So let's go to the most recent video where we destroyed the likes to 927. I'm still shocked by that. If you go to the first link in the description down below, go to Weeks, click sign up, put only your email address in, link your phone number for $10 free, that's number one. Number two, by downloading just the Weeks app, you're going to be getting a completely free $1,000 worth of an Ethereum position, which you can use to longer shorts, and all the profits you make will be completely for yourself. If you then decide to deposit $500 into your account and maintain that for 3 consecutive days, minimum balance of 500 USDT, you're going to get an additional 400 plus $100 Ethereum position airdrop with lower leverage, giving you lower risk on the position itself. And in total, you can get $10 plus 1,000 plus 100 plus 400 in welcome rewards when you use the first link in the description down below, and a bunch of future deposit bonuses. It's just unbelievable. So use the first link in the description down below. You only have 7 days to take full advantage of this brand new campaign, so make sure that you are doing that. So we spoke about the macro liquidity outlook. Now let's shift into the massive line of resistance that we are facing currently on a multi-cycle level. So if you draw a trend line since the 2017 cycle, you're going to find out, when you're not on the logarithmic scale, that Bitcoin likes to test this line of resistance in the near top areas of the cycle, of the Bitcoin halving cycle. And actually, we're seeing a very similar event to what took place in 2021 right now. Because look, you had initial top at 60,000 where you retest this trend line, and then you have a second top, and then you see a dump to the downside. And actually, if you go to the RSI, bearish divergence, bearish divergence. So is this the top for Bitcoin? Is this when we see the massive beginning of bear market? Well, I don't think so at all, because you'll realize that we've not seen the overextension in the RSI yet. We've not seen the period where the RSI has become so overbought that it has to see a retest. So Bitcoin is nowhere near done, in my opinion, with this cycle. It is a fact that we're running into resistance. It is a fact that we're running into resistance over on the charts. That is an undeniable fact. You can see that we are at resistance, and it may take the entirety of August and potentially going to September to maybe break above this resistance. But once we do, and I think we will do, we will see the continuation with liquidity running into the $160,000 to the $190,000 levels in a likely way. And we will see a top. It will be diminishing returns, at least from my personal analysis, and we should come close to the 80 level on the RSI before, in my opinion, Bitcoin decides to see a topping out and reverse back to the downside. But I don't think that this is the end of the bull market. I think this is the beginning of the end. And we will see much higher price territories. It's just that I don't think we will be going into a super cycle. This is one specific analysis of the chart. You can also put it into a different perspective where actually we are not seeing a rejection at the resistance, but we're actually seeing a retest to the prior resistance. So when you put it that way, then it becomes incredibly bullish because you're confirming the breakout. And overall, I would just be taking this as a bullish thing. Let's go to the weekly time frame, discuss the inverse head and shoulders. So Bitcoin saw the retest, we came exactly to the inverse head and shoulders resistance, and this week's candle has opened in the green, where we're back to $114,000. Does this mean it's go time? Has the bottom for Bitcoin occurred? I'll be quite frank with you. I think now's a great time to be accumulating DCA Bitcoin long positions, with the lower leverage. I think it's a fantastic time to be doing that. It was a great thing to be doing over the past few days, like we've been saying and predicting with the CME gap, the retest, so on and so forth. I don't think we're completely out of the woods. This is something that I will say, even though that we're bouncing from good level of prior resistance and we're flipping that into support, it's only a double test. It's not like a very substantiated level of support, in my opinion. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin A reversed back into 12,000, 112,000, or even pulled back all the way down to $110,000 before seeing the actual significant reversal to the upside. So this is an unfortunate truth that, it's not really deadly, but I do want to mention it to you. This level has much more substance to provide actual support for Bitcoin. And I wouldn't be surprised if we did this and then went back to the upside, scared everyone, freaked everybody out, and then we started moving back into the higher priced levels. And in that instance, I would right now, if you have any massive long positions on your altcoins with high leverage, I would consider de-risking them, de-leveraging them. That's what I've done. And when we see that potential final correction, then I would be adding more to them again, just as a risk hedge. We don't have to see this correction, retest, and then move to the upside, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happened in the short term and then we reversed back to the upside again towards the later stages of this month. It would also create panic with the bearish August. It's happening again. Oh my God. End of the Bitcoin bull cycle, post-halving year, August is turned bearish again. Like, it would just create more panic, and the market likes to do that. It likes to fake people out. So I wouldn't be too surprised if that is the case that ends up taking place. But overall, in the macro, I'm still obviously very bullish. The 110 territory also would coincide with the remaining liquidity at the downside. But I just want to tell you that in the long term, the macro liquidity is piling up massively at the 120,000 territory to the all-time high, and even ranging into the the all-time high level, right? So, but most liquidity is piled up at 120. We know Bitcoin, it likes to grab that liquidity, and even if we have a short-term correction to grab the lower liquidity, I think overall we will be heading back into new all-time highs. So buying Bitcoin, dollar cost averaging on your week's account, I think is the best thing to do from my personal standpoint as CryptoKid, as an analyst. Do we have a CME gap? We did briefly, but as soon as the CME futures market opened, we closed that CME gap like this. There was one open at 114 400s, again at that sort of price range, but there is no CME gap remaining from this weekend, and that is good news. There is, however, a CME gap, or in fact a gap on the stock market. That is at the 6,326 level. The SPY is currently showing that we're very close to closing it. So that is basically the entire market update. Ethereum, very quickly, we bounced to this level of resistance, and we're trying to see the bounce exactly as predicted. Let's see what happens with Bitcoin, and Ethereum will pretty much follow, but I think we will hold strong. We will hold very strong with the Ethereum price action. Guys and girls, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, destroy the likes for me. And with that said, I'll see you all on the Moon Show later on tonight with the Daily Crypto Live product, which I am the co-host of, or in fact the host of that live show. And I'll see you all on a CryptoKid video either tomorrow or tonight if there is anything that's important that happens. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and as always, bye-bye.